Thank you, Witness and Megan Stielstra, for selecting my essay, Useful Fictions, as the winner of the 2022 Literary Award in Nonfiction. It's an honor to be part of this issue, and I really wish I could be there for the launch. I'll be reading a little bit from the beginning. Useful Fictions. Odysseus stands in the hallway of the barracks on the 28th of September, staring at a locked door. 1. This is how each session of PE begins, sitting in a chair with your back to the wall in the Rocky Mountain VA. You chose prolonged exposure because Jake said that cognitive behavioral therapy accesses trauma through changing thought patterns, and you are wary of your own mind. Labyrinthine and cunning, yes, but more because you've tried every conceivable way of thinking your way past this, and none of them have worked. You were arrogant enough to think this meant it couldn't. When he said that prolonged exposure accesses trauma through emotion, reliving traumatic events by using imaginals, you said, everything in me is rebelling against that, which means that's probably what we should do. This will be the bravest thing you have ever said. Odysseus is alone, eyes unseeing and seeing at once. He doesn't see the number on the heavy faux oak patinated door. He sees the ghastly pale yellow paint layered thickly on the walls, a shade somewhere between canary and fairly hydrated urine. He doesn't see the second man who should be with him. He sees the linoleum peeling under the soles of his boots like skin too long exposed to the sun, blistered and flaked. 2. Hartz, Herring didn't show up for work today. Lexi told you, her voice crackling over the line. When he didn't show up to first formation, they called. When he didn't answer, they sent 2 guys to his door. This is a truth. Odysseus doesn't see the end of the hallway to either side of him. He sees the overhead lights that are screamingly bright, bathing the space in an unnatural whiteness. The soles of his boots squeak as he shifts his weight. He has always hated this floor. Odysseus pounds on the door. A sharp, splintered pain lances along his knuckles, the bones of his hand. Red, you're late. Get up, brother. It's time to go. Only silence greets him. In that silence, a fear, swarming up through his vertebrae to set his brain to smoldering, a slab of meat pierced and turning slowly over a fire, sizzling. Something's wrong. Red should be awake. Odysseus should be hearing muttered swearing from within the room, the crash of a bedroom door shutting, anything at all. Odysseus breaks in the door. 3. How do you break in the door? Jake asks you. He levels his shoulder against it and rams, all his weight behind it, snapping the lock and practically tearing it off its hinges. 4. What's your number? Jake asks. This question becomes harder the deeper into the imaginal you get. You remember creating the scale with Jake where 0 means perfectly at peace and 100 means actively panicking. In these moments, however, it's hard to say where you are. Jake says it's like you're drowning inside the wave, and he's shouting, "How are you feeling?" from outside of it while you're just trying to hold on. This is exactly what it feels like. Drowning. You are drowning. What's your number? 20? Odysseus replies. His voice is shaking. Inside, it's exactly like every other barracks room, a mirror of the ones he remembers so well. 5. Describe the room, your surroundings. What do you see? To the left, a stacked washer and dryer set behind where the door would swing to a stop if it weren't splintered and wrecked. Next to them, a vanity and a sink, a mirror reflecting back that he won't look into. Across from the sink, a bathroom. Every light is off. Everything exactly as he remembers it. 6. This is how your mind will construct the space. Every corner and edge remembered as your own, from the red tablecloth and the cedar candle to the stains in the sink, the crack on the face of the microwave, the way the refrigerator leans just a hair to the right, the acrid stench of burnt coffee and the chemical one of disinfectant. Beyond the door to the right that you never enter in these imaginals are all the things you kept in your barracks room. Clothes and books and flags hanging from the walls. It doesn't matter that you know this is untrue, that you never shared a room with him. It's what your brain will use to fill out the space. It's what it used the first time, too, when Lexi called to tell you what happened and you were transported instantly to a room you had never truly seen outside of your mind. The room is empty. Red is nowhere to be seen. Odysseus moves for the door to the left instinctively. The fire in his brain is growing now, roasting steadily, heat rising and rising again. He can barely think. He knows he's afraid. He tries the handle and finds it locked. pounds on it as loud as he can, yells for him to get up. 7. Say that again. He yells for him to get up. No one answers, and now he's certain that something is wrong. Red should have answered the phone, the door. Odysseus hesitates. He doesn't want to go through the door into the bedroom. He's terrified. 8. Why do you go through the door if you're terrified? Because he needs help. Odysseus breaks in this door too. 9. What's your number? You know that 0 is August of 2018 with Tyler at Willow Lakes, is the peace of that night by the lake despite your weariness, is having hot food despite forgetting the lighter for the camp stove and believing in the God then that you doubt more and more now because of the book of matches you found between your boots as you prayed, please let me just find something without actually expecting to, is the long conversation in the gloaming, is the night of sleep where you woke only once and then only from the cold. You are far from that peace now. How far? What's your number? 45, Odysseus replies. The bedroom is spare and dark. Red hasn't been here long. He's been home from Cameroon for 13 days and the space reflects it. Nothing of note, really. The same standard issue army furniture crafted of cheap, pale particle board. The twin bed is shoved beneath the window. Red's duffel bags are at the foot. Olive drab, the bottoms painted tan with his last name, last 4 and 1st Platoon, Alpha Company, 1st and 30th Infantry Battalion stenciled on in flat black spray paint. Stray socks and discarded uniforms are crumpled on the floor. In various corners, a uniform top slung on the back of a chair. The bedroom is empty. The bed. Thank you.